Amidst the confusion, 3 gunmen at the front of the hall opened fire. Malcolm was hit 17 times in the ensuing hail of bullets. He died on the stage as chaos erupted.
Malcolm X's family members, along with attorney Ben Crump, are announcing 2 new witnesses that are offering evidence in the alleged conspiracy case surrounding his assassination.
In the swirling mists of history, certain events stand as beacons, casting long shadows over the present and future alike. The assassination of Malcolm X, a pivotal figure in the American civil rights movement, is one such event that has continued to intrigue, puzzle, and inspire generations.
59 years ago this week that civil rights leader Malcolm X was assassinated, February 21st, 1965, as he stood at the podium before a crowd here in New York.
58 years after that fateful day in the Audubon Ballroom, where Malcolm X fell to an assassin's bullets, the quest for truth and justice has taken a new turn, igniting a flame of hope that the full story might finally be unveiled. Recent developments have rekindled interest in this cold case, with Malcolm X's family at the forefront, championing the call for justice. Armed with new evidence and backed by the tireless efforts of civil rights attorneys, they have cast a spotlight on the possible complicity of law enforcement agencies, including the FBI and the NYPD, in the assassination. This revelation is not just a call for justice for Malcolm X, but a demand for transparency and accountability that resonates with ongoing struggles against systemic injustice. As we delve into this narrative, we are reminded of the weight of history and the power of truth. The reopening of the investigation into Malcolm X's murder is not merely a revisitation of the past. It is a testament to the enduring impact of his legacy and the unyielding quest for justice. This story, woven from threads of pain, resilience, and the undying hope for a better tomorrow, invites us to reflect on the complexities of history, the struggles for civil rights, and the ongoing fight against systemic oppression. In the quest for truth, we find not only the echoes of Malcolm X's voice, but the collective voice of all those who continue to fight for justice in the face of insurmountable odds. In the tapestry of American history, few threads are as vibrant yet as fraught with tension as the civil rights movement of the 1960s. At the heart of this tumultuous era was Malcolm X, a figure who, with his incisive eloquence and unapologetic advocacy for Black empowerment, carved a distinct path through the struggle for equality. The days leading up to his assassination were charged with a palpable sense of foreboding, a prelude to a tragic crescendo that would resonate through the decades. Malcolm X's journey from a troubled youth to a leading voice in the Nation of Islam and eventually to an advocate for global human rights was marked by profound transformations. His pilgrimage to Mecca in 1964 was a turning point, broadening his perspective on race and unity among Muslims worldwide. This spiritual awakening led to a shift in his approach, from the separatist rhetoric that had defined much of his early public life to a more inclusive vision of civil rights. This evolution, however, did not sit well with all, sowing seeds of dissent within the Nation of Islam and attracting the wary gaze of law enforcement agencies. The atmosphere in the weeks preceding his death was thick with tension and intrigue. Malcolm X had become increasingly vocal about threats to his life, often pointing to fractures within the Nation of Islam and expressing suspicion about the involvement of external forces. His home in Queens was firebombed just a week before his assassination, an ominous sign that his fears were not unfounded. The attack, carried out under the cover of night, left his family shaken but unharmed. It was a stark warning of the dangers that lay ahead. Yet Malcolm X remained undeterred, committed to his cause until the very end. The significance of Malcolm X's final days cannot be overstated. They were a culmination of a life lived at the edge of a knife, balancing between the pursuit of justice and the ever-present shadow of retribution. His assassination was not just the silencing of a man, but an attempt to quell the rising tide of change he represented. Yet, in the wake of his death, his ideas would only proliferate, sowing the seeds for future generations to cultivate. February 21st, 1965, dawned with an air of solemnity, a day that would etch itself into the annals of history with the stark finality of tragedy. The Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, a place that had often reverberated with the voices of activists and visionaries, was poised to become the stage for a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. Malcolm X, amidst growing tensions and palpable threats to his life, was scheduled to speak, an engagement that would tragically mark his last. The ballroom was charged with an uneasy anticipation as attendees gathered, unaware of the grim turn the day would take. Among the crowd were Malcolm X's family members, who, despite the looming threats, stood by his side, a testament to their unyielding support and shared commitment to the cause. The presence of law enforcement was conspicuously minimal, a detail that would later fuel speculation and controversy over the events that unfolded. As Malcolm X took the stage, the crowd settled, eager to hear the words of a man who had become a symbol of resistance and empowerment. However, the speech was abruptly and violently interrupted. A commotion near the front of the ballroom diverted attention, a calculated distraction that preceded chaos. Gunshots rang out, a harrowing cacophony that shattered the brief moment of confusion, leaving in its wake a scene of devastation. Malcolm X, struck by a hail of bullets, fell, his life ebbing away on the very platform from which he had inspired and challenged the status quo. The assassins, exploiting the ensuing pandemonium, attempted to flee, their heinous act a stark declaration of the lengths to which adversaries would go to silence a voice too powerful to be ignored. The immediate aftermath was a maelstrom of shock, grief, and outrage. The Audubon Ballroom, once a place of gathering and discourse, had become a crime scene, the ground stained with the blood of a leader whose only weapon was his words. The assassination of Malcolm X was not merely the murder of an individual, but an assault on the very ideals he championed. In the days and years that followed, the impact of this moment reverberated far beyond the confines of the ballroom. It was a catalyst that galvanized the civil rights movement, imbuing it with a renewed sense of urgency and resolve. The loss of Malcolm X was a profound tragedy, yet in the wake of his death, his message of justice, equality, and human dignity found new life, echoing through the generations as a call to action that remains as relevant and powerful today as it was on that fateful day in Harlem. The assassination of Malcolm X sent shockwaves through the heart of America, leaving a nation grappling with the brutal reality of its own reflection. The immediate aftermath was a tumultuous blend of chaos and mourning, as the community and Malcolm X's family confronted the stark void left by his departure. The Audubon Ballroom, once a vibrant hub of discourse and unity, had transformed overnight into a somber symbol of loss, its walls echoing with the unspoken questions and unresolved tensions of a movement suddenly bereft of one of its most compelling voices. In the wake of the tragedy, Malcolm X's family found themselves thrust into an unwelcome spotlight, their personal grief magnified by the public's insatiable quest for answers and accountability. His widow, Betty Shabazz, displayed remarkable fortitude, embodying the resilience and dignity that had characterized her husband's life. With her were their children, young witnesses to history's harsh realities, their innocence overshadowed by the weight of their father's legacy and the mystery surrounding his death. The investigation into Malcolm X's assassination was marred by complexities and controversies from its inception. Initial inquiries pointed to the Nation of Islam, highlighting Malcolm X's estrangement from the organization and suggesting a motive rooted in betrayal and ideological divergence. However, this narrative was insufficient to quell the growing suspicions of deeper, more insidious forces at play. The minimal police presence at the event and the ease with which the assassins had executed their plan raised alarming questions about possible complicity or, at the very least, a gross underestimation of the threat to Malcolm X's life. As the years passed, the case grew cold, its unresolved threads weaving into the fabric of the civil rights movement's broader struggle against injustice and inequality. The absence of conclusive answers did little to dampen the fervor of those who sought to uphold Malcolm X's ideals, transforming him into a martyr whose death was a rallying cry for continued resistance and activism. The enduring mystery of Malcolm X's assassination has fueled a myriad of theories and speculations, each reflecting the multifaceted nature of his legacy and the turbulent times in which he lived. His life's work, marked by a relentless pursuit of truth and justice, continues to inspire those who navigate the complex terrain of civil rights and social reform. In the narrative of Malcolm X's assassination, the unresolved questions and the quest for closure are not merely historical footnotes, but poignant reminders of the ongoing struggle for a more just and equitable society. The assassination of Malcolm X, a seismic event in the annals of American history, has long been shrouded in layers of suspicion, intrigue, and a quest for truth that transcends mere curiosity. In the aftermath of his death, a narrative emerged, steeped in allegations and accusations that pointed towards a conspiracy far more complex than initially perceived. The involvement of law enforcement agencies, particularly the FBI and the NYPD, in the surveillance and undermining of civil rights leaders was well documented, casting a long shadow of doubt over the official accounts of Malcolm X's assassination. The suspicions were not unfounded. The era was marked by the FBI's COINTELPRO, a covert and often illegal operation aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic political organizations deemed subversive. Malcolm X, with his potent influence and radical shift towards a more inclusive vision of civil rights, undoubtedly posed a threat to the status quo, making him a prime target for such operations. The minimal police presence at the Audubon Ballroom, despite known threats to Malcolm X's life, and the mysterious ease with which the assassins carried out their deadly mission, further fueled speculation of a deeper, more sinister plot. The revelations of new evidence by Malcolm X's family and their legal team have reignited interest in these theories, suggesting possible collusion between law enforcement and the assassins. This evidence, which includes testimonies from individuals previously silenced by fear or complicity, sheds light on the murky waters of the investigation and the potential orchestration behind the assassination. The notion that Malcolm X's death was not merely the result of internal Nation of Islam tensions, but possibly facilitated by those sworn to protect, is a chilling testament to the era's fraught relationship between the government and the civil rights movement. As the call for transparency grows louder, the demand for the release of classified documents pertaining to Malcolm X's surveillance and the events leading up to his assassination becomes a crucial step in unraveling the truth. The pursuit of justice for Malcolm X transcends the man himself, symbolizing the broader struggle against systemic injustice and the manipulation of power structures to silence dissent. The legacy of Malcolm X, therefore, is intertwined with the quest for truth and accountability. His assassination remains a poignant reminder of the lengths to which oppressive systems will go to maintain their grip on power. Uncovering the full extent of the conspiracy against Malcolm X is not just about setting the historical record straight. It's about affirming the enduring relevance of his fight for justice and equality in the face of systemic oppression. The quest for justice in the assassination of Malcolm X has been a protracted journey, marked by legal battles, calls for transparency, and the tireless efforts of his family and supporters to unearth the truth. The exoneration of two men wrongfully convicted for his murder in 2021 was a significant, albeit delayed, acknowledgement of the miscarriage of justice that had compounded the tragedy of his death. This momentous development, however, was not just a vindication for the individuals involved, but a stark reminder of the systemic flaws that allowed such a grievous error to persist for decades. The legal odyssey to clear the names of these men was fraught with challenges, emblematic of the broader struggle against an often obdurate and opaque judicial system. The revelation of withheld evidence and the acknowledgement of the FBI and NYPD's possible complicity in the assassination underscored the deep-seated issues within law enforcement and intelligence agencies. These revelations have not only cast a shadow over the initial investigation, but have also opened old wounds, prompting a re-evaluation of the circumstances surrounding Malcolm X's death. The push for transparency extends beyond the quest for individual justice. It encompasses a broader demand for accountability from the institutions implicated in the surveillance and potential orchestration of Malcolm X's assassination. The call for the release of classified documents related to his surveillance is a crucial step toward understanding the extent of government involvement. These documents, long shrouded in secrecy, hold the potential to shed light on the intricate web of interactions and decisions that led to one of the most pivotal moments in the civil rights movement. Malcolm X's family, spearheaded by his daughters, has been at the forefront of this fight, seeking not only to reclaim their father's legacy, but also to illuminate the systemic injustices that contributed to his untimely death. Their efforts, supported by a coalition of legal experts, activists, and scholars, reflect a collective determination to confront the past in order to forge a more just future. The ongoing struggle to fully unravel the circumstances of Malcolm X's assassination is a testament to the enduring impact of his life and work. It is a struggle that goes beyond the man himself, touching on the broader themes of racial injustice, government accountability, and the right to dissent. Malcolm X's legacy is a tapestry woven from threads of resilience, eloquence, and an unyielding commitment to justice and equality. His life, marked by a profound transformation from a troubled youth to a global civil rights icon, continues to resonate with individuals and movements around the world. The impact of his assassination extends beyond the loss of a leader. It signifies the enduring struggle against racial injustice and the quest for human dignity. Malcolm X's teachings, particularly his emphasis on self-respect, self-defense, and the importance of a global perspective on civil rights, have left an indelible mark on the fabric of social and political activism. His ability to articulate the frustrations and aspirations of African Americans, coupled with his critique of systemic racism and colonialism, provided a blueprint for subsequent generations of activists and thinkers. His message transcended national boundaries, connecting the plight of African Americans with the struggles of oppressed peoples worldwide, thereby fostering a sense of solidarity and shared purpose. In the years following his death, Malcolm X's ideas have been revisited and reinterpreted, reflecting the evolving landscape of social justice movements. His emphasis on the power of education, self-awareness, and economic empowerment continues to inspire initiatives aimed at uplifting marginalized communities. Moreover, his willingness to evolve his viewpoints, as evidenced by his pilgrimage to Mecca and subsequent advocacy for racial unity, offers a powerful lesson in growth and the capacity for change. The doors Malcolm X opened for the Black communities of today are manifold. He challenged the status quo, urging individuals to question systemic inequalities and to assert their right to freedom and justice. His call for Black pride and cultural affirmation has fueled movements aimed at reclaiming African heritage and celebrating Black identity, contributing to a richer, more nuanced understanding of racial identity in America. As we reflect on Malcolm X's legacy, we are reminded of the ongoing relevance of his teachings in the contemporary struggle against racial injustice. His life serves as a beacon for those navigating the complexities of activism in an ever-changing world. The doors he opened extend beyond the realm of civil rights, inviting us to envision a society grounded in equality, respect, and mutual understanding. In honoring his legacy, we commit ourselves to the unfinished work of building a world that reflects the full measure of justice and dignity for which Malcolm X so passionately fought. The current state of the investigation into Malcolm X's assassination, decades after the tragic event, stands as a poignant symbol of the enduring quest for justice and the complexities inherent in reconciling the past with the present. The recent resurgence of interest, fueled by new evidence and a societal push towards transparency and accountability, underscores the deep-seated need for closure and understanding, not only for Malcolm X's family, but for a nation still grappling with the shadows of its history. The family's unwavering pursuit of truth, supported by legal advocates and a global community that recognizes Malcolm X's significance, has breathed new life into the investigation. This renewed scrutiny is not merely an academic exercise. It is a moral imperative, a collective endeavor to unearth the facts that have been obscured by time, bureaucracy, and perhaps intentional obfuscation. The call for the release of classified documents and a thorough re-examination of the case is a testament to the belief that understanding the past is crucial for the integrity of the future. The implications of this case extend far beyond the personal tragedy experienced by Malcolm X's family. They touch upon the broader themes of civil rights, the role of government agencies in the lives of activists, and the mechanisms of justice in a democratic society. The potential involvement of law enforcement and intelligence agencies in the assassination raises unsettling questions about the balance between national security and individual freedoms, between the power of the state and the rights of its citizens. In the quest for closure and accountability, the legacy of Malcolm X serves as a guiding light, a reminder of the power of resilience, the importance of truth, and the unyielding demand for justice. As we navigate the complexities of this investigation, we are reminded of the enduring relevance of Malcolm X's life and work, and the imperative to confront the past with honesty and integrity, ensuring that the lessons learned inform our collective journey towards a more just and equitable society. As we draw the curtains on this narrative journey through the life, assassination, and enduring legacy of Malcolm X, we are reminded of the profound impact that one individual's quest for justice can have on the tapestry of history. The story of Malcolm X is not confined to the pages of history books or the annals of the civil rights movement. It is a living testament to the power of voice, conviction, and the indomitable spirit of the human will to challenge the status quo and advocate for a more equitable world. The recent developments in the investigation of Malcolm X's assassination, marked by the unveiling of new evidence and the rekindling of calls for transparency and accountability, serve as a beacon of hope. They remind us that the pursuit of truth is an ever-evolving process, one that demands resilience, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to justice. This quest transcends generations, inviting us to reflect on the past's complexities and the lessons they hold for the present and future. In honoring Malcolm X's legacy, we are called to continue the dialogue he started, to confront uncomfortable truths, and to engage in the collective work of building a society that reflects the ideals he championed. His life's work, characterized by a relentless pursuit of equality, human dignity, and global solidarity, remains as relevant and urgent today as it was during his lifetime. The narrative of Malcolm X's life and the ongoing investigation into his assassination challenge us to confront our shared history, to question the narratives that have been constructed, and to seek a deeper understanding of the forces that shape our world. In doing so, we not only pay homage to Malcolm X's legacy, but also commit ourselves to the ongoing struggle for justice, equality, and the realization of a world where every individual's inherent dignity and rights are recognized and respected. As we move forward, let the story of Malcolm X inspire us to engage with the world critically and compassionately, to raise our voices against injustice, and to contribute, in our own unique ways, to the realization of the just and equitable society he envisioned. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.